I've got a whole bunch of new stationery from Journalsay and I can't wait to show you. I'm talking stickers, I'm talking washi tapes, I'm talking scrapbooking papers, some really interesting notebooks, and lots of really useful tools as well. Hi, I'm Erin, and I decluttered a lot of my stationery recently, so I'm trying to be really mindful about what I let back into my collection. Journalsay is an online hub for really affordable stationery and a long-time supporter of my channel. They have very kindly supplied all of the stationery I'm showing in this video, and as an affiliate of Journalsay, I can help you save some money if you use my code Erin at checkout. You'll get 8% off. They're also always running some kind of sale or promotion, so the prices I show you in this video may vary from what you see on the site depending on what the promotion is at the time. I'll be sharing prices in US dollars, just FYI, and also stuff goes in and out of stock really quickly, so it's worth keeping an eye on the things that you really like in case they disappear. Let's start with stickers, our very first category. I love a good sticker, but I'm very picky about the ones I get from Journalsay because there is a lot of AI artwork on the stickers on their site, and that's just not something I personally enjoy. If you've watched my Journalsay hauls before, you may be experiencing deja vu in this moment because yes, we have seen these amorphous blobs before. I originally got these in just the blue and the brown colorway. Look at that gold reflection. Very, very nice, very crystally. This sticker was a little damaged, like one corner was kind of turned up, but I think it would still work fine, so it's all good. At the time I was choosing the items for this haul, I was preparing for a workshop with my friend Jessie at her stationery store. We run this adventure journaling workshop, which is kind of a junk journaling thing based on D&D. It's really fun, and we color theme packs for the people who participate so that they don't have to think about what stationery looks good with what stationery. It already all looks good together. These were specifically for that purpose. I feel like amorphous blobs work so well because they have a bit of a magical, like fantasy motes of magic kind of a vibe to them, and so these were great for our stationery packs. We combined stuff from my collection with some stuff from the store and from Jessie's like foraged amazing vintage stationery collections and put together some really unique stuff. And then the people who joined the workshop, which was for a hen's party, like a bachelorette party, I think they had a good time. They did some really creative stuff with what we gave them, which was awesome. A lot of them didn't realize these were stickers though and just tried to like glue them down, so we did a lot of peeling stickers for people when they weren't sure. I did use these blue ones in the last mystery journal at the beginning of the setup, and I do still have the dregs of a few of these left over in my own collection after making the stationery packs for the adventure journal workshop, but for the most part these have already moved out of my collection and they really served the purpose well for what we wanted them to do. So good job, amorphous blobs, very well done. They just make such a great layering piece to like sit underneath something that is more prominent, like a title or an image of something. I love them. I love them. One more moment for the shine on this bad boy, please, because that is spectacular. I got the whole set of 6, $8.29 currently for that, but you can buy them individually as well. Here's another thing with a beautiful gold shine. Am I a magpie? Look, I won't deny it. These are another one of those great layering pieces because you never know when a subtle floral gold moment sitting behind something is going to be exactly what you need. More often than you'd think, I would argue. The listing on the website for these also has some other things, and I've had 2 of the other sticker sets from that before, the keys and the fairy wings, and they were gorgeous and I loved them. So I was very confident bringing these into my collection that they will get used. They're washi stickers, so they're very lightweight, they don't bulk up your journal, they're very thin, even though they're also very shiny and metallic, and they're kind of on the larger size. The journal I'm comparing them against here is an A5, so you can see you can kind of only fit 3 to a page vertically. I do love that you get 2 of each design though. These ones currently go for $1.39 for the single pack, and I do very much recommend the keys as well, they were gorgeous. Moving on to some trees. Also, can I introduce you to my new BFF? This is Duck Duck Girl and her presumably duck hat friend. I wonder if she knows Tomato Jam Girl. Anyway, guess what I chose these stickers for? Yep, it was the Adventure Journal workshop, and they worked really well for that, although I have hoarded one specific pack of them for myself. I'll let you know which one when we get to it. These ones are PET stickers, but they're very matte. You can see when I hold it up to the light, it's not really shiny at all, especially on the printed areas. Kind of impressionist style trees. I don't know, I can't always tell these days. AI's getting really good. They could be AI, they could not be AI, I don't know. But we used them for the workshop and they were great for that purpose. Hey Siri, play Flame Trees by Sarah Blasco, specifically the cover, not the cold chisel version. These next ones, the green ones, I felt were kind of giving Christmas very much. They've got little orbs on them that are kind of imitating decorations, baubles on a Christmas tree, so these ones were a little trickier to work into a hen's party workshop in September, but we did our best. The pink ones are very much cherry blossom reminiscent, which I think is very fun and pretty for springtime, which hey, it is right now for me. The Southern Hemisphere is experiencing spring at the moment, while all you Northern Hemisphere people get to have your cozy days. I'm not jealous, what do you mean? I do love a pink tree though, so I'll allow it, and this is the pack that I've kept for myself because are these not jacarandas? We say it really dumb here, I know. Also that one looks like it's maybe cut a bit wrong. It's hard to tell because they have lots of little like spotty, tendrily extra bits that are around the edges that obviously the sticker has to accommodate for, but that one does look like it's cut a bit funky to me. Anyway, in October, Brisbane, my city, just comes alive with purple trees, and so I wanted to keep those for my memory keeping for the month for October. And these yellow ones are actually kind of appropriate too because it is wattle season as well, and I'm less enthused about that because wattle gives me hay fever, so I don't love that so much when it triggers my allergies, but I do think these are also very Aussie appropriate kind of trees with the yellow like the wattle. $8.60 if you want to get the whole set of 6 here, but you can get these ones individually as well. I put all this stuff in my cart when Halloween was rushing up at us, and it still is, but I've kind of done all my Halloween stuff now, so I didn't end up using these. These are still in my stash. Maybe they'll get their shot in my reading journal, who knows, but these are 3 sheets of very shiny celestial style stickers, and they're each done in a different kind of foil, as you can see from the way the light is bouncing off. The first one here is gold with kind of a red shift when it hits the light the right way. This one is true holographic, like lasers and space. It's so much fun, I love it. And this one is also gold, but it has that kind of chunky glitter effect. I don't know what that's called, but it's fun, I like it. $1.10 for this one, and they also have patterns available with like flowers or butterflies if that's more your style. This is a cross section of 2 of my obsessions right now. One of those is these kind of old school style vinyl stickers that they used to use for scrapbooking. I'm obsessed with them, and I'm also obsessed with tiny sparkles, so this is the best of both worlds. I got them in gold and silver, and I also got 2 sheets of each because I know I will just so heavily use these in the coming months. I've used some of the gold ones already in my most recent October bullet journal setup. A little fiddly and finicky to peel up, I recommend sticker tweezers for that, and hey, guess what? I'm going to show you some later. $1.09 for these right now, and they also have some chain patterns and some butterflies as well under the same listing. Do you ever choose your stationery specifically for a book in your reading journal? Because that's what I've done with these ones, and I still haven't read the book, but I've had these in my collection for like a month now. These are Egyptian-inspired stickers. They're kind of cool. My heart did indeed tell me to get the versions that are also on this listing that have more cats involved, because obviously they loved their cats in ancient Egypt, but I wanted these to really work for the book, and I wasn't sure that there would necessarily be cats in that, so I went for the more generic look Egypt kind of vibe. The book I'm thinking of here is Where the Library Hides by Isabel Ibanez. I read the first one, What the River Knows, like last year for my Page Majors book club, and it was really fun for me. Not everyone liked it, but I did. I'll have to check and see if it fits in my Bewitched Book Challenge prompts at all, but if not, maybe I'll have to wait until November. But I have the stationery for it. These ones go for $1.42, and there are other versions too, with cats, do recommend. Moving out of stickers now, but still staying in a decorative area, these are tapes. Some washi, some PET, all very pretty. Who's obsessed with a celestial theme all year round? This gal. Hi, it's me. Again, I was kind of thinking what if as far as my October themes, and I had them out. I didn't end up using either of these though. This one's a navy blue tape with a beautiful holographic reflection. It's quite busy, there's a lot going on here, but it is really fun. Wasn't vibing the planet so much, but I was into the moon phases at the time I was setting this up, so this will just have to have its moment another day. It has a release tape backing, so it's very easy to keep it nice and pristine. Actually looks black on the website listing, but I promise that one is navy blue, and I also grabbed this white one from the same listing too, again with the reflection. This one pulls a little bit more blue. Equally stunning. I wanted to mention on the listing for these, they also have some options that are a bit more vintage or a little bit more pretty in case that's your thing. There's one that's like an adventure map that I've actually had before that I really like in kind of a teal color. Nice and wide, which I always think makes things more versatile because then you can rip them in half and have a good time with them. They definitely passed the close-up test. $1.53 each, which is pretty good for tapes of this quality. I'm impressed. This PET tape has already made an appearance on my channel quite recently in my reading journal setup for September. This is an interesting one actually. It's from a brand called Moodtape, which I've also seen stocked on like So and So, and a lot of their artwork seems to have this very kind of anime influenced look to it, and the fantasy stuff like this I think is so beautiful. Also the loop on this tape is really long, and they give you heaps of it on the roll too, which is not always the case with discount stationery retailers. Sometimes you get like 2 loops and then you're out of tape. I've also slated this one to go into the mystery journal for one of the setups for the upcoming mystery journal that will cover the first half of 2026, so you will be seeing it again, but I can't guarantee it will still be on the site then, so if you like it, I recommend you grab it now. But at least you know it's from Moodtape, so if you can't get it on Journalsay anymore, maybe you can look for it elsewhere. The Gothic cathedral style archways and the daggers and the lilies. I love lilies, they're probably one of my favorite flowers, but I have 2 cats and one of them would chomp on them for sure, so this is how I will enjoy lilies, because they're toxic to cats, in case you didn't know. $13.08 right now, but you get heaps of it. That's more expensive than some of the other stuff, but I do think it's still worth it. These 3 tapes are all from the same listing, and they are just wide, solid, single color tapes, and I think that's hella versatile, so I really like having this kind of thing in my collection. I owe you a little apology for the way the video is gonna go here, because I somehow got out of sync with like when I was pressing record and when I was stopping the recording, and I was doing the opposite always of what I thought, so I've missed a lot of the process of swatching these. I'm so sorry, but these are just wide washi tapes, so I think you can imagine. $3.48, and each sold separately for these. Another repeat offender here, I've had this tape before as well. It's kind of an illuminated letter situation, and it's just a long stretch of washi with the whole alphabet on it, so you have to cut off the letter you like, and it's a bit tricky to organize, but I got rid of it before and I regretted it, so I'm not going to do that again. $2 too, and I recommend some washi cards for the offcuts. This one's a 2-piece tape set. One of them is very wide and the other one is much more narrow, but they're both floral. The wider one's pattern is barely there and I think it's super pretty. The other one is a little bit more busy. I don't like it as much, but they come as a combo, so I'm not going to leave a man behind. Who am I kidding? I separated plenty of washi sets in my declutter. $2.03 for the pair, and there are other colors too. Hi, I'm Erin and I'm a millennial woman, which means I love marble, and so I got this set. It's really nice. The gold veins through the marble are reflective, and that's really fun for me. I really like it. Different sizes, slightly different blues. These are going to be versatile. I had a blue marble before and I used it to death, so I'll probably do that again. $2.30 for the set of 3 tapes, and they have other colors, but they're not all marble. This next one is washi tape adjacent, but not actually a washi tape itself. It is a washi tape stand, but friends, proceed with caution here. I don't think I recommend this one. It's not made very well. The 2 side bits that hold up the dowels don't really go into the base very well. They're not cut to the right size. I'd only recommend this if you're willing to do some sanding, and I was not. $16.39 though if you want to display your washi tapes, and there's another size too. This PET tape I find completely confounding. Like, why does this exist? It probably shouldn't. I grabbed it because it seems like it's trying to be a functional PET tape, and I think that kind of thing can be really useful in a bullet journaling context, but once I got it and I actually started rolling it out and sticking things down, I discovered that this is not set up at all in the way that I expected, and I kind of hate it. So we've got this 24-hour time thing for most of a day. We don't have like the hour until midnight, but that's okay, I suppose. From what I can tell, there's a lot of 6 to 17, and I think that must be meaning like from 6 a.m. until 5 p.m. That's all I can really gather from this. Some of the numbers just seem completely arbitrary. There's this ruler. It's cute, I guess. This is not what I wanted. I was hoping for like a 1 to 31 that fit in the 5mm dot grid, and I could just do a calendar with it, you know, or something like that. This is not what I was hoping for. Whatever, it's fine, I guess. $2.05 if you want this, but like, why would you? I don't know. Let me know if you would. I want to know how you'd use it. Let's not think about it any harder though, because we're moving into the paper category, which is scrapbooking papers and sticky notes and cute little lace things. Can't wait to show you the lace things. Let's do those first. I feel like I'm in my cottagecore soft girl era at the moment, especially with my office redecorating ongoing, so I feel like these kind of resonated with my soul a little bit when I saw them. I got them in green and blue and white. I don't think they're stickers. They could be. Sometimes I'm wrong about this, but I don't think they're stickers, but they have this fun print with a little laser cut edge on them. We did put a few of these in the adventure journaling kits, but I also still have a few of them too, so I do have some of them in my collection. This one was cut a bit funky, but I just wanted to show you like the watercolor pattern on the paper, the edges, and that little extra bit I was able to just pull off and it was fine, so not a huge deal. I won't show you the white one on a white page because you won't be able to see the details, so we'll just do this one straight on the desktop surface. I think this one shows up as purple on the website. They have it kind of styled that way, but they're definitely more white in person. I love that they have a combination of frames that are hollow, so you can use them as frames, like put something behind them in a scrapbooking context. I love doing that, so that makes me really happy, but some of them are also filled in, so they're already their own kind of decorative piece. And if you still wanted to use it as a frame, you can just put something on top of it. I think the blue variation is my favorite. They're just so delicate. They feel kind of icy and wintry and snow queeny. Some of them have got tartan patterns on them. They're just so much fun. But I do seem to be missing one. The top left corner there, I only had one. I've got two of everything else, so that's a shame. These are $1.50 each, and they come in other colorways too, or you can get them as a whole set of 6 if you like. Clearly, I was feeling like a bit of a space cadet when I chose all the items for this because there's a lot of celestial stuff going on. I do really enjoy the pastel twist on it here because I feel like our celestial stuff is usually quite dark and contrasty, whereas these are soft blues and soft beiges and a little bit more maybe folky in some of the cutout designs for the moons there. These laser cut moons are so cute, but they're also very like leafy, and there's a butterfly on one, and it's just a nice little intersection. The shiny patterns on those papers at the bottom there too, those vellums, is spectacular. I'll show you one up close in a sec, but so many different sizes of paper going on here. There are some little stamps. Some of them are vellum, some of them are solid, some of them have text on them, some of them are just moon phases as their own complete little pieces of paper. There's this tiny notepad. Let's have a close-up look at these laser cut moons because how beautiful. I actually considered using these for my October setup, but I decided they're a bit too folksy. I was going to paint them gold, decided it was too much work. Look at the shininess on these. They're so gorgeous. They'd look great with that white celestial tape from earlier. $2.82 for this whole set. That's a bargain. These two are really fun. They're scrapbooking papers that have like a burned edge effect. The one on the left will do first. It's called an essay, but it's kind of like vintage letters that have been aged and worn and singed a little bit in mysterious circumstances. The first place my head goes when I see these is the movie Casper from 1995, when at the beginning Carrington has just thrown all the papers in the fire and Eric Idle's trying to read them and he reads "Buccaneers and buried gold, Whipstaff doth a treasure hold," and I'm like, oh look, I've got the deed to Whipstaff Manor, how good. Always wanted a haunted mansion. I've actually had the map fragments ones before. I used them in the mystery journal, the very first mystery journal, for a pirate setup for, I believe it was April? Still not enough swashbuckly stationery out there as far as I'm concerned. I do love me a piratey kind of a theme. Papers from both of these sets went into the adventure journaling setup packs, so some of these aren't in my collection anymore, but I do still have some left over. Also so good for adventure books if you keep a reading journal, or adventure movies if you keep a media journal, or if you keep a D&D journal even, like really good stuff. $1.79 each, and they have other versions too, but these two are my favorites. Now, if you spend as much time watching home decor YouTube as I do, this little sticky note set might make you really happy. Look, they're a pretty plate set. There's just something so novel about something like this, something really unexpected on stationery. I find it very charming. And yes, they are sticky notes. They do have like this self-adhesive bit at the top so you can stick them to stuff. I go through sticky notes quite a bit when I'm setting up mystery journals, and I'm working on a new one at the moment, so very helpful. $1.27, and they have other plate varieties too. 3 little notebooks to show you. Very interesting, these guys. Different sizes, different shapes, different purposes. This is easily the most affordable reading journal I've come across so far, and I have a series on my channel where I test out and review reading journals, so this one is going to be next in line. I haven't taken a really in-depth look through it yet. I'm going to save that for when it gets its own video, and I did just review Archer and Olive, so let me know if you want it soon or if I should space out the reading journal reviews a little bit. What's better for you? I don't know. $17 for this one. It's available in 4 colors, but it's currently sold out in all except this peachy version. How gorgeous is this notebook? This one has a linen cover and watercolor pages, so it's kind of an art journal, but I have a really specific idea in mind for this one for myself. I just bought a flower press, and I'm planning to use this as my flower journal as I try to trick myself into enjoying the warmer months of the year. It has really lovely, creamy, lightly textured pages inside. According to the Journalsay website, they're 300 GSM, and it comes in a few different cover options. They're all lovely fabric covers, but this one I think is the prettiest, as far as I'm concerned. $13.10 for this one. Let me know if you want to see the progress on my flower journal, because I've never pressed flowers before. And then we have this adorable tiny little journal. This one comes in a few different cover options as well, but I thought this was the sweetest. This is A7 sized, so this is it compared to an A5. It is very, very small. It's actually pretty hard to find A7 journals. I have one from Notebook Therapy that came with their lucky bag last year, and it's great because it has like journal pages. This one has very thin paper inside. It's just blank. There is a little bit of the flowery motif at the beginning, but this is a real basic notebook. So if you just need something to chuck in your purse house and run around and make notes in, then this would be great for that, but do not expect bullet journal quality out of this bad boy. Only $2.91 though, so I think it's pretty good for the price, and it might be a bit too early to think about Christmas, but I think this would be a good stocking stuffer. Alright, it's time to get useful, I guess, with some tools. Maybe not as flashy as the decorative stuff, but very necessary to the journaling process anyway. Starting with some curved pointed tweezers in very pretty shades. I already have curved pointed tweezers, yes, but I sometimes run workshops, and so it's useful for me to have a little stash of extra stuff. How beautiful are these rainbow ones? They're so nice. I also got them in silver and gold. They sort of look like they have a bird feather pattern going on. If you don't have sticker tweezers yet, I recommend trying them out. They'll change your life, and they do also have straight versions and stuff available in this listing too. $2.08 for these sizes. What's the equivalent of a stationery outfit repeater? Because that's what I am in this video. I've had these before too. This is a set of 4 glue tapes and I really like them. They have overtaken the Plus Norino as my favorite, and I have this one on the go right now. So clearly I really like these, and I was going to run out soon, so we're stocking up. These are fantastic. Do recommend. Not going to open them because they're just going straight into backup. These are $6.23 for the whole set of 4, so that's really affordable. I love these. I recommend them. On the topic of adhesives, this is a glue pen. It's from Kuretake Zig range, which means it's from a really well-known brand, very renowned. And this one's a really interesting one because it's kind of squeezy. It's like a liquid. You take off the lid, you squeeze this barrel part where your fingers go, and then you use the glue that's inside to stick your fiddly things. I have a glue pen biro, but I think this one's going to work better because the biro version always gets clogged. Also, this one has blue glue so you can see where you're putting it. $3.46. I've tried it once already and I think it's really good. These are also glue pens, very different though. These ones come in a set of 2, and you'll see when I take the lid off here, it's a similar kind of concept where it's like a squeezy tube of a barrel, and then presumably that glue comes out the nib. You give it a good shake for this one. It didn't say to do that on the Kuretake one. And the tip on this one is more like a chisel tip that you'd see on a highlighter, and it pushes in like a paint marker. So very interesting concept. I haven't tried these ones yet. I'll let you know how I go. Only $2.41 for the pair, so not too much of a risk, and they have other colours. I don't know if that means the glue is also coloured. Maybe something to test next time. Now, I love my wooden letter stamp set. I think it's fantastic, but I wanted to try this one out because it's kind of a similar concept, but it's just capital letters, and it actually comes with a little ink pad, but my preferred way to use letter stamps is just with a paint marker, so that's how I'm going to try them out for demonstration here. These are really nice. They're kind of a typewriter style letter. They come joined together a little bit. They're very easy to separate though. You can just kind of pull them apart. You get a full alphabet plus a full set of numbers and also 4 little punctuation mark places. You've got like a hash, you've got the @ symbol, you've got an exclamation mark and a question mark. And I like this particular elegant style of serif lettering, but they also have other lettering styles in the same product listing. So if you would prefer something a bit more whimsical, they have those options for you. I personally don't enjoy an ink pad, so I haven't tested out the one that this comes with, but I'm sure it works just fine. I think these are fantastic. Really, really nice letters for your vintage journaling needs. I do recommend them. And they're only $5.10, so what's not to love? Definitely check out the other lettering styles though, just to see if there's one you vibe with more. And finally, I picked up these 2 little wax seal heads that I think are really cute. The last time I did an adventure journaling workshop and we made the packs for them, I closed them all up with a little wax seal that fit the color of the things inside. And I thought maybe I would do that again. I did not end up doing it again, so I didn't use these for that purpose, but I have them now and I think they're really cute. I do love a wax seal. This first one is a cat, which I just think is so lovely and appropriate. I am a cat lady and I know a lot of cat ladies, and so I will use this for them if I ever have reason to give them correspondence, I guess. Always fun to add some extra detail to your wax seals with a little paint marker, so I added some gold onto my kitty here. Didn't do the greatest job, but you get the idea. And the other one is a beautiful tree design. I already had the handle and the little furnace thing and the guide circle guy for the wax seal shape, so I didn't have to get any new stuff to be able to use these. This one I think is so pretty. It's very tree of life. It's a little bit, actually I'm going to do it in a white wax seal and it looks like the white tree of Gondor and it is so lovely. This is actually my second attempt. You can see the first one on the left there. I didn't really use enough wax to fill it out. So there's a touch of green on the right side, but look how beautiful that is. It's so magical. I definitely would have used this one if I had done wax seals for the adventure journaling workshop. And I thought I'd just try it out again. Not doing the greatest job here, so I stopped. I was going to ruin it, but tried to add some green paint marker to bring out the tree. Still pretty cute, I think. I'm not sure either of these designs are actually in stock at the moment, but they do have some other ones if you want to check them out, and they might come back. But anyway, $1.25 a piece. I've just added as many of these items as are still in stock to my cart just to see, and it works out to around about $140 right now if you wanted to get all the same stuff as me. Or if you decided to use my discount code Erin at checkout to get 8% off your order, we can bring that down to about $129.54. Also, Journalsay offer free international shipping on orders over $29 US, so you wouldn't have to pay any extra for shipping on this one. And they have a $2.59 worry-free insurance option that you can toggle on and off. Do you have any of these stationery items in your collection, or have you added anything to cart after watching this? I'd love to discuss. I love to talk stationery with you. Everything's linked in the description in case something has caught your eye and you want to make it yours. And I want to give a big thank you to Journalsay for supplying me with all of these things so I can show you, so I can supply my workshops, and so I can keep my channel moving forward. In case you're keen to keep watching, here is a link to a video that YouTube thinks you might enjoy, and if you're just really vibing the stationery, here is a link to my stationery playlist so we can open some more stuff together.